So here's an update on a project which I call Project Smoke. Follow along with me on what it looks like today, where it's been, and where it's going next.
And as always, brother, you did an awesome job, man.
Welcome.
Take a look. Smoke Gray came home today. I always name my cars, and this one is now called Smoke, mainly because that's the color. Smoke Gray Poly is what it's actually called. So real quick, this is my 1987 Mustang LX 5.0 5-speed. This is in a color which is called Smoke Gray. Not sure exactly how many they made, but it wasn't a lot. This is the one that if you looked at the thumbnail of my previous video, it was a mess. It was like a purplish flip-flop type of color. Don't know what they were thinking. The clear coat had peeled away. This thing was on Facebook Marketplace probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And I don't know, something just caught my eye. I think the big thing I look for is, again, integrity. It is what it is, a 5-speed, real deal LX 5.0 5-speed one. Second thing was, being in the Northeast, rust issues, right? Rust issues are always a problem for us. And to me, that's where most of your paint and body work and money goes. Well, you know what? You find the most rust-free car you can and you kind of roll with it. So in this case, this car checked both boxes. I actually, it had been sitting on Marketplace for a while too, but I guess most people didn't pay it any mind just because they get caught up in what it looks like today versus what it could look like in the near future with a little work to it. So, but anyway, this is what I got. And it's funny because I remember the guy when I went to buy it, the guy told me straight up that I was the first person to come see it. He had tons of people calling, but nobody showed up. So fortunate for me because I ended up scooping it up for the sum of $1,700. So full transparency, bought it for $1,700. By the time I got it back home and everything, gas and tolls and trailering, I put a number on it of $2,000, right? So this is my 2K 87 notchback LX 5.0. So for you folks, again, a little education. You'll notice the roof line a little different than what you normally see. This is called I guess the slang term in the Mustang world would be notchback. It also is called a sedan, and it's also called a coupe. Sedan because it's 2 doors, and a coupe because, quite honestly, there's no hatch to it. So anyway, a little nomenclature for you. But I don't know. My man Brian, the painter who I showed in the other videos, he's the same guy doing Brownie, and you know, I can't say enough about him. He knocked this out the park. I didn't ask for a show car, but I'll tell you what, he didn't disappoint at all. Look at this thing. And like I said, if you go back, I'll put in some thumbnails at the end where you can actually see what this thing looked like beforehand. But I mean, dude, this guy is awesome. His work is, you know, impeccable. One of the big things he did was made sure all the gaps were tight. We know Mustangs, Fox bodies never are that tight when it comes to gaps. He did complete detail of the molding. And I mean, this trunklet, I mentioned there was a lot of holes. There wasn't holes as far as rust. What it was is it had holes here and here where when I bought it, someone had mounted a Celine wing on it. So not a big fan of Celine wings on coupes. So of course that had to go. And then the other thing we talked about in the other video was the roof. The roof had a couple of dents and pretty good sized dings in it. And I mean, he was able to, you know, as you can see, just looking at it, that guy is amazing. But yeah, man, again, I don't try to build show cars. I build street cars that I can drive and enjoy. And if I'm not driving them, enjoying them, I can have them in my garage and sit and look at. Simple as that, right? I don't buy them or fix them up to resell to make profit. I buy them for me. So for me, they're up to my standards and I love it. And like I said, his paint work is phenomenal. Now, one thing that's gotta get changed on here ASAP, that's these crazy looking exhaust tips. that exhaust, as a matter of fact, will be totally changed because the next thing's gonna happen here is that a complete motor change. I have a aluminum headed Trick Flow 306 that is going in here with the Tremec T5 5-speed behind it. So it's gonna be a pretty awesome combination. And I did this one's kind of backwards. I've built Chevelles, I've built, you know, a number of cars, G-bodies, you name it, Fords as well. And typically, you know, you do frame ups, right? So paint is typically your last thing. But for me, what I've realized is getting the paint on cars actually motivates you to get to that next step. Like right now, I am pumped. So Fox Body guys know, those aren't the right seats. When I got this thing, it had totally wrong seats, if any. Door panels were painted over. As you can see, there's like a B&M stick in here. They had changed it from 5-speed to automatic. And my guy Brian actually, he took out the dash cluster and everything for me, because when I have him do a car, we also do the heater core and evaporator while he's at it. I've had him probably do 3 or 4 of my Mustangs the same way. So, and you know, I want to have factory air. I want to have heat. I like, again, to get in my cars and be able to drive them whenever I want, turnkey and go. Everything's not a race car, so it'll have some performance to it, but it's also going to have the creature comforts. So one of the cool things too, scouring Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, I'm a stickler for 10 holes, but they got to be mint. I mean, they got to be minty mint. So scouring Craigslist for 10 holes, I happen to run across these with the factory Goodyear Eagle Gator backs. Look at that. And if you guys have had Fox Bodies brand new like myself, this is what your car came with back in 1987, probably 85 to 86 too. But in 1987, this is what your car came on, these factory Goodyear Eagle VR60s. And it's just something about that gator back tread pattern that's always enamored me, I guess you'd say. And they are directional. Now again, the story I got was that these were taken off 2 weeks after the gentleman owned the car. So looking at the tread, looking at everything, the condition, I did wipe them off a little bit, but I haven't touched the wheels. It's probably true, because you know that typically the clear coat is peeled right off of there. They're yellowed, they start fading, and once that happens, it's kind of tough. But anyway, I think that completes the look I was going for, just that factory look. Now, you would think that probably because of color combination, everything, this car, it might be an SSP. I don't think so. Of course, there's a bunch of cues you can look for SSPs. I'm not an expert, again. I haven't looked for a buck tag, but that's going to be next, because again, the complete motor and tranny that are in here right now running and driving is going to come out, and that Trick Flow aluminum headed monster is going to go in here. Yeah, again, look at the wheels and tires. If that doesn't bring you back to the 80s, I don't know what will. Holy cow. But again, the interior was beat on this thing. I lucked out. I was able to source a complete back seat. And if you guys know anything about these cars, to find a notch back seat in the right color that's not ripped up, faded, or torn is like crazy. So I was able to find that. I do have the front seats, and as well as all the interior panels and door panels, all factory stuff. Now, there's going to be a video I'm going to put out very shortly that actually shows where I sourced those things from. It's going to be kind of cool, so stay tuned if you're a Fox Body guy, or actually if you're anybody guy, because it talks about supply chain issues and things like that. But the dash, as you'll know, is out. It's in the back here. I had Brian take that out because, again, that whole dash is coming out. It's not the factory colors. They actually painted some purple on there or something. So that's all coming out, all going to get replaced, refurbished, whatever, and it's going to look like brand new when it goes back in there. But again, that's kind of my thing, my process. Look at that bumper, man. We did put a new bumper on it. The other thing, all new emblems, all these. I think I used LMR. I also used Place I've been using a lot lately that I use for the Chevelle stuff is NPD, National Parts Depot. Dude, I'm telling you, they got a lot of Fox body stuff. Prices are right, and you know, stuff that LMR may be out of stock or may not have at the time, and even from a price point, you know, I found them very competitive. So always good service, and the product comes pretty quickly. So all the Fox body vendors are pretty good, and I, you know, plan to expand on more when I actually start working on this lean. We also did all new door. I think those are door sweeps or something like that. We did inner and outer door moldings. I still got to do around the door those, as you can see, pretty worn there. Brian also did all the trim. He, I think he used the Sim Black to do all the trim over. Again, he blew the car apart. I mean, it's just looking at it, man, night and day. I'm trying to crop out those tailpipes because they irk me that much, but that's just me. Anyway, this thing is so crazy to watch it like transform. And again, I'm pretty pumped. I switch from project to project. I guess that's what keeps me going, and I get pumped on, you know, doing things. So this one, looking at it right now, I'm totally pumped and ready to take it to the next level. So just wanted to kind of bring you guys and give you an update as to the condition and state of smoke gray poly, like I said I would. But anyway, there it is, man. So you know I can't end the video without saying it, right? So I always say they don't have to be pretty. They don't even have to be cute. Sometimes they can be a $1,700 Facebook Marketplace buy, or you can go to Barrett Jackson and buy one for, I don't know, 50, 60,000. The way these Fox bodies are going crazy now, it's probably where it's going to be in the next 5 years. Or you go grab something that you can see that fits your budget, that you have a vision for, and you know, take it to the next level. As I say, it's on junk for life, baby. All day, every day. Peace, y'all.